week 14 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers I would drop this week. The first guy is Omer Yurtseven of the Miami Heat, so he's one of the highest pickups in all of December and early January on the waiver wire was Yurtseven, but now he's been dropped in 15% of fantasy leagues with Bam Adebayo and Dwayne Dedmon back over the last few games here for this Heat team. And he had a DMP, coach's decision. So right now, that's obviously not looking good for the undrafted rookie Yurtseven. And it's unfortunate because he was putting up huge numbers in the absence of Bam and Dedmon. So on the season, 6.6 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and 51% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, before he got benched in the last night's game, 14.6 points a game, 12.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists, and 63% from the field. So right here, maybe it was just a fluky thing. I know Adebayo came back, but this guy was putting up huge numbers, like I mentioned. And I thought he would be part of the rotation, but in shallower leagues, I would drop Yurtseven, especially if he's not going to play at all. In deeper leagues, maybe you hold on to him another week to see what happens. But the last few games before the coach's DMP, January 12th at Atlanta, 13 points, 10 boards, 6 assists, a block, 66% from the field. January 14th versus Atlanta, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 77% from the field. And January 15th versus the 76ers, 22 points, 11 rebounds, an assist, a block, and 83% from the field. So right here, very good numbers, good double-doubles he was putting up. And then he didn't play in the 17th ball game versus Toronto. So we'll have to wait and see if he's going to play or not play at all in his next ball game versus Portland on the 19th. But right now, fantasy owners quickly have dropped him in 15% of fantasy leagues. And if it continues, obviously, there's no reason for him to be on your roster if he's not going to play. The next center I would drop this week is Daniel Gafford of the Washington Wizards. So Gafford, coming into the season, he was a decent 8th, 9th rounder in most fantasy drafts he was taking. But his numbers have dropped, especially in playing time with Thomas Bryant back in the lineup for Washington after coming off a torn ACL from last year on the season here for Gafford. 9.3 points a game, 6.4 boards, 1.1 assists, 1.7 blocks, and 68% from the field. So right here, still great numbers on the season, but the playing time's gone way down over the last 3 games since Bryant has been back. January 12th versus the Magic, 8 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks, 16 minutes, 100% from the field. January 15th versus Portland, 2 points, 3 boards, an assist, 0% from the field, and he only played 11 minutes. And then January 17th versus Philly, only 8 minutes in that ball game, 5 points in that one, and 100% from the field with a block. So right now, he's been dropped in 9% of fantasy leagues. And obviously, the Wizards like Thomas Bryant better than Gafford this season. So right here with the playing time going down and obviously the stats, he's an easy center to drop this week. And third and final center I dropped this week is Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets. Sengun, it's been an up and down season so far for the rookie this year. On the season, 9 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 50% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, the numbers in playing time have dropped. 7.5 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and 60% from the field here. So right now, he's only played a couple minutes a game, 14, 15 minutes a game, and even before he went on the safety and protocol list, before he returned January 14th for Sengun, he really wasn't doing anything. December 31st versus the Heat, 6 points, a rebound, an assist, a block, a 3, 100% from the field. January 14th at the Kings, 9 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a block. And then January 16th at the Kings, 6 points, 2 assists, a block, 15 minutes of play, and 50% from the field. So the playing time hasn't been there. The Rockets have gone in a different direction, a little bit of more small ball as well. And Sengun right now, he's been dropped in 4% of fantasy leagues. With him not really putting up numbers or getting playing time, he's an easy drop this week. So that's a few centers I would drop here in Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.